Star Citizen's Reclaimer can soon be used for combat missions, because it's getting 7 new PDCs, point defenses, placed all around the ship that you can see very effectively defending passively without your doing the ship. So we're gonna see some combat with that. I'm also gonna see how much does it take to destroy a PDC and how do you do it? And of course, we're gonna make sure that Reclaimer does not survive the day. So you see here on DPS calc, the Life versus the PTU version. Life version has 3,300 turret DPS and no PDCs down there. The PTU version has 4,000 turret DPS with 7 named PDC swarms down there. Size 1, same as the Polaris or Idris, although the Idris can have up to, I believe, 11 of them. And here it is. Oh gosh, I just spawned my Reclaimer and somehow the game default spawned it in the Milka purple best in show skins. I don't like that. I can't do that. That's impossible for me. So in the name of immersion, I had to change that back to the regular skin. Also, this elevator here, I hate it. This thing feels like it could kill me at 20 different places when I just do something wrong. There's already 1 PDC visible there on the back and 2 more right on top. So you have 3 PDCs firing upwards. And you have also 2 downwards and 2 more down sidewards. So let me show them all to you right here real quick. And by the way, if you enjoy this news updates, staying tuned on everything new about Star Citizen, please consider staying tuned, subscribe to the channel, and if you're interested, use my referral code below with the new referral system. I would really love to rank up a little more there. That would be fantastic and a big help for me. But yeah, so there you see, there's the PDCs. Hold on, let me zoom in on them. First, we have on the under the left and under the right wing, basically, there is 2 PDCs. There to the right and there to the left. Then we have 2 more right under the hangar, the elevator down there. Then there is 2 on top of the ship, and there is 2 or 1 more on the back on top. So that equals 7 PDCs right there. Okay, so we're now in combat against Gilly's flight school, and I'm stopping to fire with the front guns and just let the PDCs do the work. You see how quickly to the right the shield on the enemy ship was drained, and how 4 PDCs right now were firing at the enemy at the same time. That is insane. If you have the right angle, there's 4 PDCs can fire at the same time. That is a good 400-500 DPS on the enemy. That actually hits perfectly. Because as you can see here, that PDC is doing a fantastic job at tracking the target and hitting it perfectly every step of the way, right? You have to be at 2.5 kilometers and flying mad maneuvers with a very small fighter to not get hit by this. Because those PDCs are using the same weapon combo that we know, like Badger, Panther, Rhinos, Galdarine, 1,800 meters per second projectile speed at with very, very good accuracy, okay? And although this, I believe it's a Hull A that I'm shooting at there, is taking quite a beating before he gets down, or was it a Hull A? I'm not sure. Yeah, it took a bit of a beating, but here we have the next one, and we have some smaller fighters. For example, an F7, right? Or a Gladiator, or something like this. And those things are getting destroyed much quicker. Because they're just light fighters or medium fighters, and they don't take that fire for a long time. Like in 10 seconds they're destroyed. There's even an arrow, and the arrow is so frustrated about the fact there's no way to escape, it actually goes and kills himself. Okay, goodbye. And now again, we're gonna look at how to destroy the PDCs, because I want to also use the opportunity to teach you guys how the PDC is properly stripped of a ship, because it's actually very simple. And you just have to fire at the right place, because the PDC consists of the turret itself and the gun sticking out. And yeah, you'll see in a second how to really properly destroy this and how little it actually takes to do so. Okay, I felt like this would looked really cool here with the wreckage going away. This is an F7 right there, getting shot for like, I don't know, maybe 8 seconds or 7 seconds altogether, and it already was gone. It is so quick how this PDC is doing the job, and you're just doing nothing. You're just sitting there. You know, I could be mining right now or salvaging, and the PDC would do all the work all by itself, right? So it is not much. Oh, 4 PDCs firing down frontally forward there, man. This could be. Yeah, this This is basically the same firepower, I believe, or similar than the Polaris has when it comes to the PDCs, right? So definitely very effective, and it looks very cool to see all those ships like floating around the Reclaimer and the Reclaimer just defending itself properly. When it comes to balancing, I personally think it's a really good idea to let the Reclaimer have this, right? It is a slow, huge, bulky, capital ship-sized industrial ship. It needs some defense because let's be real, man, you have a lot of value in that ship. If you're reclaiming for a few hours, dude, you have a lot of value in there, and not having any sort of defense, and every guy can just come around and be like a deadly threat to you with a fighter, that is now different. If I was moving around and flying the ship, making it impossible for people to board me, while at the same time having these mad powerful shields on the Reclaimer defending and that PDC doing that job, now it's definitely different, right? And against larger targets, you do have your front guns, but then again, you know, they're not really doing that good of a job at destroying something bigger. In a second, I'm accelerating the gameplay against the Argo Mole by 2,000% to show you how much it took for me to destroy that mole. And I was doing it perfectly. I was firing in sniper precision mode exactly at the same spot the entire time. So making sure I have to do the least amount of damage against the mole. And I still took quite some time. You get this, of course, nicely accelerated as usual here for you guys. So you get just the juicy stuff here. There it is. So let me just start accelerating this by 2,000%. That's what it looked like. Every time hitting the exact same spot there on the mole. And eventually it would look like this. Bam. Okay. But that took me like 3 minutes, I believe. Or yeah, 2.5 maybe. Alright, so let's go into the part where we destroy the PDCs ourselves. Of course, no loot here in the flight school missions. And this is a, you know, mole. What loot was I expecting, so. Yeah, so let's hop into the part where we destroy the PDC on the Reclaimer and checking out how much it takes. The way I did it all by myself is I flew about 30 kilometers away from Grimhex after I located myself there. Then I killed myself, spawned back on it, spawned the next ship. In this case, again, we're going with the Inferno, the Starfarer, because it's like a Starfighter. Sorry, the Starfighter Inferno. It has a nice Gatling machine gun with a lot of ammo that we can test with. And at first I was positioning myself behind the Reclaimer here, where only one PDC would fire back at me. But to my surprise, the PDC actually didn't fire. Like, the ship would not defend itself against me, which is unusual, because normally, no matter if Polaris or Idris, if you shoot your own ship that has PDCs, it'll begin firing at you. Even at its owner, it will begin firing to defend itself. But it doesn't do it here. Very weird. I can do whatever I want. The ship does not fire back at me. Then you see what I'm doing here. I'm doing it wrong. I'm firing at the turret of the PDC. This is how you don't destroy it. You can tell there's a little white outline around the PDC weapon, showing and signifying that it is still intact, the PDC. What I have to do in order to really destroy that is hit the gun, that little gun sticking out, and that will immediately get rid of that white little outline. And as soon as the outline is gone in the precision mode, you can tell the weapon is inoperable. Okay, so let me demonstrate this to you. Now I'm firing at the turret, nothing happening, and I go to the right with my fire. Look at that little white outline on the gun, and boop, it's gone. Already, I can stop firing. That little outline goes out super quick, and once that happens, the PDC is destroyed. This is the part that you have to fire at, that part. Let me show you how quick it goes, and boop, already destroyed. It's like 6-7 bullets hitting, and the outline is gone, and the PDC is going to be rendered inoperable. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long it would take you to do this with energy-based weapons, since they only bleed through a minimal amount of damage through the shielding. Boop, that's it. That's already destroyed. And here I fired like 1,000,000 shots before at the turret itself, but that is not necessary. You just fire at that little outline. And in case you want to know, you can do the same thing, not just with these turrets. You can also do it with the weapons on each of the other turrets. Boop, already gone. See, this is how quickly you destroy the weapons on a turret. I've recently made a video where we destroyed the turrets on the Idris after the new turret change. Here we're doing the same with the double size 5 turret on the front top, and it's it. That's it. That's how long we fire at it, and the white outline on the giant turret goes away, rendering the entire thing inoperable, or alternatively just destroying the little weapons there with a couple of shots, right? So projectiles, although not very useful to complete PvE missions and stuff because you're just running out of ammo, their job seems to be absolutely stripping ships of components. That seems to be what they can do so well. Okay, I'm still a little surprised that the ship never opened fire back at me. I believe it should have done that. Maybe they're working on this. Maybe also the Polaris or Idris will no longer fire back at me. But when I did the test just yesterday or 2 days ago against the Idris on the PTU, the Idris was actually firing back at me, right? Anyways, let's destroy the reclaimer here. Boom, that's it. I already destroyed the back part of it and made it red before. And now that the shields are gone, we're gonna do an insane amount of damage. About 50% of the damage that we're doing is now actually done to the ship, because the other 50% are absorbed by the armor that most ships by now have. Not all ships though, but soon, I think, right? But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you're happy to stay up to date. Subscribe for more, and I see you in the next video. Manni signing off. Bye bye, my friends.